Welcome students to lecture 9 of magnetic effects of current. So this magnetic effects of current we are studying under two parts. One is when the current passes through the conductor, the magnetic field is set up around the current carrying conductor. And what is second part of this? In the second part we are going to deal with when we are changing the magnetic field around the conductor in the coil, what happens? The current is producing. So it is a quite inverse phenomena of the magnetic effects of the current. So this phenomena was first observed by scientist Faraday. So in this session we are going to discuss about the Faraday's experiment and conclusions on electromagnetic induction. So first we should know that what is mean by electromagnetic induction. So before going to discuss that what is electromagnetic induction, let us study the experimental study of Faraday's experiment. So the experimental arrangement of the Faraday is consist of a coil, and this coil is connected to a galvanometer. The two ends of the coil is connected to a galvanometer. Sir, what is a galvanometer? So galvanometer is a very sensitive device. Galvanometer is a very sensitive device, so which is used to measure the direction and magnitude of the current. Used to measure the direction and magnitude of the current. Sir, what is the meaning of this magnitude and direction? If we connect this galvanometer in the circuit with the help of a battery, we can get the strength of the current as well as the direction of the current in the circuit. So if we are connecting the ends of the conductor P and Q, P is connected to battery positive terminal and Q is connected to negative terminal. For suppose the pointer is deflecting towards left. Now I am changing the connection. I am reversing the polarities of the battery. So now I am connecting P end to negative terminal, Q end to positive terminal. Then the current magnitude will be given by the galvanometer along with the direction. So initially it is deflects towards left. When we changing the polarities, the deflection in the galvanometer will be towards right. So it gives the direction of the current and as well as the magnitude of the current. In the same way, it is a very sensitive device. With the help of this, we can able to measure up to 10 to the power of minus 9 amperes of current. That means till 1 nanometer, 1 nano ampere, we are going to measure with the help of the galvanometer. So this is about the galvanometer. So galvanometer is a very sensitive device. So to know the existence of the magnetic field around a current carrying conductor, we are using the compass. In the same way, due to change in the magnetic field around a coil, the development or the production of the current in a coil can be identified with the help of the galvanometer. So this galvanometer, and he also it contains also one magnet. So we know that around the magnet the magnetic field is exist. So for suppose this is the direction of the magnetic field from north pole to south pole, right? So magnet, the experimental setup is consist of a magnet and a coil and a galvanometer, right? Sir, what he observed, in what way he did his experiment? So let us study step by step. When coil and magnet, so galvanometer, when there is no flow of the current in the coil, it will be at 0 point. It is exactly in the middle. Now I am moving, I am placing the bar magnet nearby it. The observation 1 is when magnet is at rest or coil is at rest. When magnet is at rest, the galvanometer do not shows any deflection. So what does it mean? There is no change in the magnetic field around the coil. Why? Because the magnetic field is remains constant. So how many field lines are crossing? The number of field lines crossing the magnet will crossing the coil will be constant. That means the constant flow of magnetic field lines will be there through the coil. That's why the needle do not show any deflection. Okay, there is no current. I equals to 0. Right, second observation. So now he is moving the magnet towards the coil. So when he moves a magnet towards the coil by facing north pole. So north pole of the magnet facing the coil. So when north pole of the magnet is facing the coil, now the magnet is in motion. Magnet is in motion with a particular speed. So when the magnet is in a motion with a particular speed, what happen? As the magnet is moving towards the coil, the number of field lines passing through the coil will be changes. That means the field lines which crosses the coil is changing. So then he observes some deflection in the galvanometer. For suppose the galvanometer deflection towards left. What does it mean? When the magnetic field lines are changing or the field lines are passing through the coil changes, then there is a deflection in the galvanometer. When the galvanometer shows some deflection, when there is a current is developing in the coil. Therefore, current is produced in the coil due to change in the magnetic field around the coil. Now, when he reverses the poles of the magnet. So initially he moves the magnet by facing north pole. Now instead of facing the north pole of the magnet, now he changed the poles of the magnet. Now the south pole of the magnet is facing towards the coil. Now again when the south pole of the magnet is facing towards the coil and the magnet is in motion. This is when north pole is facing the coil. So deflection is left side. Now here observation 3, south pole of the south pole of magnet facing the coil. When south pole of the magnet facing the coil, so again there is a deflection, that means current is produced in the coil. So when current is produced in the coil, but the deflection will be, this time it will be opposite to the when the north pole is facing the coil. So here the magnetic field is changing when the magnet is in motion, but the deflection will be opposite. That means the direction of the current which is developed in the coil is changed due to change in the poles of the magnet. Okay, so when during its motion, when he stopped the magnet, for suppose he is moving the magnet from here, as he is moving the magnet towards the coil at a certain instant, during in its motion. When he stops the magnet, there is no development of the current in the coil. That means we can observe that when there is a relative motion between the coil and the magnet is there, then only the current is produced. This is observation 3. So the same result is going to get. Instead of moving the magnet, now he is moving the coil. Now the coil is moving towards the magnet. When the coil is moving towards the coil, again he observes some deflection in the galvanometer. Now, in the same way, when he is moving the coil away from the magnet, so in this case also he observes some deflection in the galvanometer. So finally we are going to conclude one point here. The conclusion is, when there is a relative motion nothing but either the magnet is in motion or the coil is in motion. So when there is a relative motion between coil and a magnet, the current is produced in the coil. The current produced in the coil. Okay, right. So this phenomenon is known to be electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction. In simple words, if you want to say, due to change in the magnetic flux linked with the coil. So here this magnet is associated with some magnetic field. So when the magnetic field lines passing through the unit area is known to be shade outlet, that is called as magnetic flux. So when there is a change in magnetic flux linked with the coil, a current is produced in a coil. This phenomenon is known to be electromagnetic induction. Sir, this current is known to be what kind of current? So this current is called as, due to change in the magnetic flux, whatever the current produced in the coil is known to be induced current. So induced current. In the same way, the current is produced if there is a source of electricity. So whatever the source of electricity in this coil, that is known to be induced EMF. Okay, this is conclusion 1. Right. Then what is second conclusion? So second conclusion, the direction of deflection of the induced current is reversed if the relative motion of the magnet or coil is reversed. That is second conclusion. So conclusion 2, if the direction of coil or magnet, if the direction of coil or magnet is reversed, then direction of current is reversed. This is second observation. Okay, second conclusion. Then what next conclusion? Let us study one more conclusion here. So now the magnet is in motion and the coil is at rest. For suppose the pointer shows 2, it is at 2. Magnet is moving with the speed of 5 meter per second. Now I am increasing the speed of the magnet to 5 meter per second to 10 meter per second. So when the speed of the magnet or when the speed of the coil is increased, the deflection in the coil will also increased. So what is the meaning of this? The relative motion is affects the strength of the induced current produced in a coil. So conclusion 3, already conclusion 2 is completed, no? Right, what is conclusion 3? If the speed or velocity of a coil or magnet is increased, the strength of the induced current is also increases. So these are the conclusions we are going to get from the Faraday's experiment. Okay, so these conclusions are from the Faraday's experiment. Now let us discuss why the relative motion of the magnet and the coil will gives the current in a coil. Let us discuss that. So when the coil is connected to a galvanometer, actually galvanometer is a not a it not acts like a source of current, just it is a measure, it is used to measure the strength of the current and direction of current. So now we are moving the magnet towards the coil. So when you are moving the magnet towards the coil, what will happen? The magnetic field lines passing through the coil will be changes. So already we know that. So flux. So flux phi is equals to BA cos theta. Okay na? That means if the flux changes, the flux passing through the coil changes, then what happens? In the coil the current is produced. Sir, why it is producing? So it is simply the consequence of law of conservation of energy. So law of conservation of energy. Sir, how it is law of conservation of energy? Because to change the magnetic flux linked with the coil, we need to move the magnet by doing some work. Okay na? So whatever the work done in moving the magnet or work done in moving the coil, it leads to change in magnetic flux linked with the coil. So the phenomenon of electromagnetic induction is simply we can summarize like this. It is the conversion of mechanical energy into electrical energy. Okay, now this is the main concept of the electromagnetic induction. So in moving or in changing the flux linked with the coil, so we need to move the magnet or we need to move the coil. So when the magnet is moving, we are doing some work. That work done, what kind of work done? It is mechanical work. So this mechanical work is stored in the form of energy. That energy we are going to convert into electrical energy. Okay na? In the same way, sir, we discussed that if the speed of the magnet is increased or if the speed of the coil is increased, again the strength of the current is also increased. Yes. Why? The whatever the current produced in the coil is directly proportional to rate of change of flux linked with the coil, or induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change of flux linked with the coil. If the motion of the magnet increases, the flux linked with the coil will also changes in a great number. That's why the induced EMF will be increases in the coil. So let us write the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So here the two laws he explained. So law 1. So first law. So first law gives the relation between flux and as well as the current. That means when we change, or the flux passing through the coil, for suppose I am taking the flux passing through the coil is 5. The flux in a coil is directly proportional to induced current developed in a coil, or induced current in a coil is directly proportional to flux linked with the coil. That is I directly proportional to 5. If it is one number of turns is there, flux linked with the coil is I. If it is n number of turns, therefore we can write I is equals to n5. So this is Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction. That means if the flux linked with the coil is greater, then induced current is also maximum. In the same way, instead of one turn, if you take then several turns, if you are increasing the number of turns in a coil, then what happens? The flux linked with the coil will be changes in greater magnitude. Therefore, induced current will also increases. Next, second law. So second law gives the relation between the rate of change of magnetic flux and as well as the induced EMF. Right. The rate of change of magnetic flux is directly proportional to induced EMF produced in a coil. Induced EMF produced. That is, we can write E directly proportional to minus d phi by dt. Sir, why you are writing this negative sign? What is the importance of the negative sign? We will discuss later. So this negative sign represents the rate will opposes the induced EMF. So according to Lenz law, we are going to study about the direction in a induced EMF. So we can rewrite this as E is equals to minus n into d phi by dt, where n is nothing but what? Number of turns in a coil. So this is 1 and this is 2. Now let us some more in detail discussion of the equation number 2. So what is second law? E is equals to minus n into d phi by dt. So about negative sign, this negative sign nothing but it comes or it gives the direction of induced EMF is always opposing the cause which is producing it. We will discuss in detail when we are studying about the Lenz law. Right, we know that phi is equals to what? Phi is equals to BA cos theta, right? So I am substituting there minus n into d by dt of ba cos theta. So n, so I am writing like this: a cos theta into dB by dt. dB by dt nothing but what? Rate of change of magnetic field. That means E is produced due to rate of change of magnetic field intensity. If you change the magnetic field from B1 to B2 in a certain time interval delta t of 10 seconds or 5 seconds, like that. For suppose in 10 seconds, the field intensity changing from 10 Tesla to 15 Tesla due to change. Here we are keeping the number of turns constant, orientation of the coil is constant, and area is constant. But what we are changing? The field intensity we are changing with respect to the time. So due to change in field intensity with respect to time also, the induced EMF is produced in the coil. That is the meaning of that. That means we can produce the induced EMF due to rate of change of magnetic field intensity. Okay, not only the magnetic flux. So if you change the field intensity also, the induced EMF will be developed. Next, right, another one. So minus n cos theta, there be we can write nb cos theta dA by dt. So n number of turns constant, b constant, and orientation of the coil in the magnetic field also constant. So now I am changing the area of the coil from 10 centimeter square to, whether it is increasing or decreasing doesn't matter. So your area is decreasing. So decreasing in a certain time interval. So due to rate of change of area also produces induced EMF, and then E is equals to minus NAB d by dt of cos theta. So what is mean by cos theta? Cos theta nothing but it is the orientation of the coil, the alignment of the coil with respect to the magnetic field. So for suppose initially the coil orientation is like this, now they are changing the orientation like this. So to understand this clearly, let us draw the coil like this. For suppose this is the initial orientation of the coil, so later they change the orientation into another plane. So when they change the orientation, that means angle made by the coil with respect to the field is changes. If the orientation due to change in orientation of coil, orientation of coil in a magnetic field, induced EMF will develop. Okay, so these are the special cases for second law of electromagnetic induction. So generally we discussed electromagnetic induction due to change in rate of change of magnetic flux. So not only the magnetic flux linked with magnetic field intensity, area, and as well as the cos theta, that means orientation of the coil. So this is the in detail study of the Faraday's electromagnetic induction and the phenomena. So the current produced in the coil by changing the magnetic flux linked with it is known to be induced current, and the corresponding potential difference is called as induced potential difference, or it is also known to be induced EMF. This phenomenon is known to be electromagnetic induction. Okay na? So overall this electromagnetic induction phenomena is a consequence of law of conservation of energy. The conversion of mechanical energy into electrical energy is known to be electromagnetic induction. So this is about Faraday's experimental study of electromagnetic induction. In next session we are going to deal about this negative sign. So what is the sense of the negative sign in the expression we are going to discuss with the help of the Lenz law. Thank you. Stay safe.